The victory of Donald Trump in the United States presidential elections was widely celebrated by many as a historic milestone, an event that symbolized the promise of renewal for some and the consolidation of power for others. Trump's return to the political scene was seen as a strategically impactful move with enormous global repercussions, but also as a catalyst for heated debates among various communities. Among these discussions stands out a troubling theory that has been circulating in Christian circles most attentive to biblical prophecies. According to this view, Trump's return to power may be directly related to the emergence of a figure prophesied in the scriptures, the Antichrist. For many, this dark figure described in biblical prophecies does not emerge in isolation. Instead, it is preceded by signs and movements in the political and social landscape that prepare the ground for its rise. This is where Jared Kushner comes into play, Trump's son-in-law, who has been pointed out by some prophecy scholars as an intriguing and potentially relevant figure in this context. The connection between Kushner and the fulfillment of these prophecies has sparked both curiosity and concern, as the scriptures warn of the emergence of a man who will bring deception and confusion. He will appear before the end times, manipulating nations and leading masses astray, while many will be unable to recognize the true nature of his mission. However, what perhaps no one expected is that this enigmatic figure, pointed out by many as the personification of the Antichrist, may be much closer than we imagine. In this video, I will present a detailed analysis and explore the points that strengthen this theory that Jared Kushner could indeed be the Antichrist. I will also bring exclusive information, details that have been little discussed so far, and in the end, I will share my sincere opinion on this highly controversial topic that has been causing growing concern among Christians and scholars of biblical prophecies. But before we delve into this intriguing topic, I want to make a special request. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take the opportunity now to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Here I dedicate myself to helping you grow spiritually and understand the teachings of the Bible in a clear, accessible, and profound way. With this, you will always be up to date with content that strengthens your faith and sheds light on topics often left aside. Now let's get to the main topic. Donald Trump, a name that has been dividing opinions and generating heated debates for years, is seen by many as a symbol of resistance against the global system. To his supporters, he is a leader who challenges the elites, combats dangerous ideologies, and exposes the hypocrisy of the higher echelons of power. On the other hand, his critics consider him a tyrant, someone who spares no effort to implement his worldview, even if it means marginalizing minority groups. However, perhaps the most intriguing question about his rise to power is something much deeper: the possibility that he is playing a prophetic role, perhaps even paving the way for the Antichrist. And it is in this scenario that Jared Kushner emerges, a name increasingly mentioned in theories that link the current political landscape to apocalyptic prophecies. Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, is an extremely influential figure behind the scenes of power. He is a successful investor, 43 years old, and is married to Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter. Additionally, Kushner served as a direct advisor during his father-in-law's first term in the presidency of the United States, exerting significant influence on political and diplomatic decisions. Coming from an Orthodox Jewish family, Kushner brings with him a cultural and religious background that places him at the center of highly sensitive issues, especially those related to the Middle East. It was during Trump's first term, which began in 2017, that he became associated with theories about the Antichrist. This is because in the scriptures, the Antichrist is described as someone who emerges from a global political, religious, and economic context, bringing promises of peace and solutions to devastating crises. Proponents of this theory highlight another interesting point. The Antichrist will be a charismatic figure who will arise amidst a great global crisis, presenting seemingly miraculous solutions to humanity's problems. Jared Kushner fits this profile perfectly, especially since he has already demonstrated skill in complex international negotiations. It is likely that, should Trump assume the presidency again, Kushner will be one of the central figures in his administration, tasked with crucial issues such as the pacification of global conflicts. Among the challenges he has already set out to resolve are the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the historical tensions between Israel and its Arab neighbors. Now that you know a little more about Jared Kushner and his significant influence on the global scene, let's explore the 5 main pillars of this theory that associates him with the Antichrist described in the scriptures. The first point is his proximity to Israel. As an Orthodox Jew, Kushner possesses a unique cultural and political understanding of Israel and the Middle East. This has made him a key piece in the diplomatic negotiations between the United States and Arab countries. During Trump's administration, he played a fundamental role in attempting to establish peace agreements in the region, something that many consider one of the characteristics prophesied for the Antichrist. A man who will bring a sense of false peace in times of global chaos. There is also a line of thought that suggests the Antichrist may arise directly from Israel, possibly from the tribe of Dan. This theory is based on specific interpretations of the scriptures and elements of Jewish tradition. For example, in Genesis 49:17, in Jacob's blessing to his sons, Dan is described as a serpent by the way, a viper along the path, that bites the horse's heels so that its rider falls backward. Many scholars consider this description as a symbolic reference to a treacherous and deceitful figure, possibly connected to the Antichrist. Additionally, in the book of Revelation, the tribe of Dan is not mentioned among the tribes sealed by God in chapter 7. This intriguing detail has been interpreted as an indication that something dark is associated with this tribe, fueling the idea that the Antichrist could have originated from it. Another element that strengthens the theories surrounding Jared Kushner is the Abraham Accords, a diplomatic treaty that marked a historical turning point in the Middle East. Signed in December 2020, the agreement formalized relations between Israel and Arab countries such as the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, under the mediation of the United States. Kushner was one of the main architects of this initiative, working tirelessly to promote the idea of peace and stability in the region. Although the agreement was widely hailed as an unprecedented diplomatic breakthrough, many Christians see a deeper meaning behind this alliance. The Bible warns that the Antichrist will bring promises of peace and security as part of his deception strategy. From this perspective, the Abraham Accords are not just a political milestone, but also a possible fulfillment of apocalyptic prophecies. The third point that reinforces these speculations is Jared Kushner's ability as a highly relevant political personality. He is widely recognized for his ability to build direct and effective connections with global leaders, especially in the Middle East. His proximity to prominent figures such as the King of Saudi Arabia and the ruler of the United Arab Emirates transcends mere diplomatic formality, representing a personal bond that has enabled advances in negotiations previously considered impossible. It is notable that, as a Jew, he is widely accepted and respected in a region historically marked by tensions with Israel. His conservative political vision, aligned with the perspectives of these leaders, reinforces his influence in creating strategic alliances. This combination of charisma, influence, and proximity to powerful rulers harkens to what is described in chapter 13 of Revelation. A leader who, in the last days, will unite nations under his leadership, forming a globally reaching alliance. A fourth element often mentioned as evidence is related to the number 666, known as the number of the beast in the Book of Revelation. On Fifth Avenue in New York, there is a building that for years had the number 666 on its facade. This number, associated with the Antichrist and global control described in the scriptures, has fueled numerous theories over time. In 2007, the building was acquired by Jared Kushner, which further intensified speculations about his connection to the Antichrist. In verses 16 to 18 of chapter 13 of Revelation, it is mentioned that no one will be able to buy or sell without having the mark, the name, or the number of the beast, which is 6666. Interestingly, after facing financial difficulties, the Kushner family lost control of the building in 2018, and its facade was renovated, changing the number to 660 Fifth Avenue, apparently to distance itself from the controversy surrounding the original number. Despite this, many continue to interpret this connection as something deeper, a symbol that there are prophetic elements at play. Today, the building is a prominent business center, housing high-end companies, luxury stores, and corporate offices. For proponents of the theory, however, Kushner's relationship with this iconic number is not a coincidence, but a clue to a larger plan that is still unfolding. An intriguing connection between Jared Kushner and the prophecies of Revelation is his link to Silicon Valley, the technological heart of the United States and the world. In the scriptures, the Book of Revelation mentions a time when the Antichrist will have total control over humanity, implementing a system known as the Mark of the Beast. This mark will be mandatory for people to participate in the economy, to buy or sell, representing a mechanism of absolute control. For many scholars and theorists, this description points to a future in which technology will be the main tool of domination. Today, we have already witnessed impressive technological advances that seem to align with these predictions. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, facial recognition cameras, automated surveillance systems, and even implantable microchips are being developed to monitor health, finances, and location. Jared Kushner has significant connections with Silicon Valley, a region that not only leads these innovations, but also houses technological giants capable of revolutionizing the world. During Trump's first term, Kushner played a crucial role in bringing the tech sector closer to the government, encouraging the use of these innovations to improve public security and governmental efficiency. For those who believe in this theory, the connection between political leaders like Kushner and major technology companies could be the harbinger of a global control system. If a world-reaching leader like the Antichrist had access to these advanced tools, he could exercise absolute dominance over people's lives. This is one of the reasons why Jared Kushner is frequently associated with these ideas. Although no one can categorically state that he is the Antichrist, his presence in strategic points of politics and technology certainly fuels speculations. When we think of Donald Trump, a figure who evokes extreme feelings of admiration or rejection, we see that his son-in-law also shares this polarization. Kushner, due to his competence and ability to negotiate in complex situations, could become someone widely admired, especially in a scenario of global crisis. But would he in fact be the Antichrist? There is no way to affirm or deny with certainty, but it is evident that his figure is surrounded by mystery and controversy, which requires attention and spiritual discernment. Theology about the Antichrist also teaches us something important. Many popular ideas about this figure do not hold up biblically. For example, the belief that the Antichrist will necessarily come from Israel or the tribe of Dan is not a theologically solid interpretation. The connection between the tribe of Dan and the beast that rises from the sea, mentioned in Revelation, does not have sufficient basis in the scriptures. Many ancient theologians, including the founders of the church, believed that the Antichrist would arise from Rome, the empire that persecuted Christians and Jews in the early centuries. The central point, however, is not his nationality or origin, but his opposition to God. The Bible calls us to pay attention to the signs, not to fill us with fear or obsession, but to strengthen our faith and live in communion with the Lord. God wants us to focus our attention on his plans and how he is acting on earth, rather than trying to predict the identity of the Antichrist. We do not know the day or the hour when he will reveal himself and initiate the Great Tribulation. Therefore, it is essential that we keep our lives aligned with God, trusting in his word and his promises. Jesus assured his disciples that he would be with them until the end of the ages, and this promise remains valid for me and for you. We must live with peace in our hearts, observing the times, but without losing confidence that God is sovereign and will protect us. If you liked this message, I ask you to share it with others so that they may also be edified. I will leave 2 recommended videos on the screen for you to choose from and continue learning about God's plans for our lives. May the Lord bless you and keep you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. A strong hug.